God, why did you keep me in the dark? Why didn't you tell me that that relationship would fail? Maybe he wanted the relationship to surface some stuff in you that he could work on so your relationship with him could get better. If he had told you how it would end, you wouldn't have taken the first step. So now I know why God didn't call a committee meeting before Christmas. Okay, shepherds, angels, like he's running a Christmas pageant or something like that. All right, come on, Magi. Here's how it works. Joseph, here's what's gonna happen. Mary's gonna come up. Yeah, we read it. We're so smug. And honestly, if I can be real, I spent all of my 30s hating Christmas as a pastor. Because people come in and it's like, they don't really even want to hear a sermon. It's just like, especially when it comes to Christmas and people are coming in because they're supposed to. You can't say much to somebody who's there because they feel like they're doing God a favor to come to church. People have to have need that they're aware of to really receive from God. That's why I push my Christmas message early to avoid the shipping delays. So you could get this word, and God is, thank you, Jesus, watching over his word. We are watching what they are walking through. We know where they end up. They don't. And that takes faith, man. I mean, if you know the whole 23rd Psalm, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. You know it ends with the wolves getting driven off by the staff. But if you're right in the middle of the valley, you think it's your new mailing address. Oh, I guess that's just how it is. The shadow of death? Well, that's an allusion to Galilee, where Jesus ended up being raised. That's what Isaiah prophesied. He said, those of you in, what was it? Help me out. Zebulun and Naphtali. Man, Galilee was so scrawny to the Jewish people. When Solomon was paying off his debts and he had to give the king of Hiram something, he gave him 20 cities in Galilee. Just wrote them over. Here, you can have this. The northern part of the kingdom, the part they didn't want. The part where a lot of the Canaanites still lived because it was still overrun by enemies. He's like, oh, you can have Galilee. And the king of Tyre got it and he said, what did you give me, my brother? You can have this back. That's where Jesus did his ministry. In the land of those dwelling in darkness. Galilee, where Jesus based his ministry. Now, please don't think this is a geography lesson. This is a prophetic word for you. The place that was associated with darkness, that's where Jesus did the most. It was known as the land of shadow and death. Shadow and death. And the thing is, you don't know which it is when you're walking through it. Is this gonna kill me? Or is this just a shadow? And God doesn't tell you. You ever wish God would give you an age you're gonna die at so you can know how much to save and how much to enjoy? Because I would spend it all if God told me I had till 43. I wouldn't leave the kids a dime. I probably wouldn't come preach again either, honestly, if I only had till 43. I might do one more message, and put it out there and see if you want to see it. I don't know, but I'd spend all the money. And God knows that. That's why if God told me when I was gonna die, or if God told you did you notice what the angel told Joseph? Go to Egypt. Herod's trying to kill your kid, but watch this. I'm gonna keep him in the dark. I'm not gonna let him find him. He can search all he wants to kill Jesus, but I am watching over my word to fulfill it. So no weapon formed against the word of God that is in your arms will prosper. Before I forget, let me tell you this. God said to tell you that he is keeping your kids. God said to tell you that as they walk through the darkness of the valley of this cultural shadow of death, the hand of the Lord is upon your children. And I want you to shout if you receive this prophecy by faith. Herod can look all he wants, but he won't kill mine. He won't get yours. The blood is on my house. The blood is on my life. Hey! counsel of the Lord. Y'all settle down. Silent night, holy night. All is calm, y'all. All is bright. All is not bright. All is not bright. All is not bright. That's pretty to sing. It's a nice image. It helps the Christmas light tree light manufacturers sell a lot of merchandise, but all is not bright. He said, I was so distracted by the star in Matthew 2 and how bright it had to be to lead them 1,000 miles. Because I like the bright stuff, don't you? I like the bright spots. I like when I can see. I like when God gives me light. Let there be light. I love when God says, let there be light, and he shows me something clearly. I loved Saturday morning when God gave me this message. I love this morning when he gave me even more. I'm not gonna love it when I have to think about all the stuff I didn't get to. I didn't love Thursday. Thursday, I was groping around in the dark. Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani. My God, why hast thou forsaken me? I'm so sorry, Lord. Whatever I did, I won't do it again. Just give me a message. I don't even feel like the Bible's in English right now. Oh, God. I don't like that. You know, like, I try to give you what God gives me and re-gift it. Now I'm coming to a point in my life where I try to give you what I would give to my own kids. And that's deeper than giving you a lesson from the Bible. So it pushes me to go deeper. But deeper means darker. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You need to look low for God. Not always up here in the clouds somewhere on some inspirational feeling. He said, you're gonna find the child on the ground in little old Bethlehem. Oh, little town of Bethlehem wasn't a compliment. It was an insult. And from that place, God, wherever you feel the most insecure, wherever you feel the most insulted, wherever it is the darkest, wherever is your Galilee, that's where God's glory is the greatest. Elijah told me the other day during our workout, I'm sorry my energy is low. I slept horrible last night. I messed up and listened to this music that got me in this dark mood, and then I just was like, I couldn't get it out of my head, and I'm laying there, and I'm sitting there like I can't sleep, and then I try to look at my phone because that's what I normally do, but that made it worse. Well, he asked me something. He said, you ever have nights like that, Dad? The guy in me that wants to be so admired and respected wanted to say, of course not, son. I don't count sheep. I talk to the shepherd. You know what? I don't think you should keep your kids all the way in the dark about what you struggle with. You don't need to tell them everything. No, don't, hey, please don't tell them everything. That's gonna build up a therapy bill that, be bigger than their college fund. But I am saying, there's moments where I realize, he already sees me preaching. He's 16. I said, nights like that? I've had months like that. No, I hadn't had nights like that. I've had a year like that. Not this year. And that's when the Lord took me back to my passage. I thought the passage was about the star. I had a message going. It's pretty good too. I don't know why the Lord won't tell me the right message the first time. Why does he keep me in the dark? I'm studying about the star, like how it's God's GPS system. That's what I was gonna tell you. God is your GPS. Merry Christmas. Lord said, that's a, look at Matthew 2:14. It said that after they saw the star bow down and worshiped him, an angel came and he took the child and his mother during the night. And that's what I realized. that God does a lot of things at night that he can't do during the day. They left for Egypt. They would stay for a year. Wasn't their plan. They weren't packed for it. It wasn't your plan to be right now. Are you exactly where you plan to be right now? Because if so, I want to worship you, Jesus. I want to give you gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh. They left during the night. You got to follow at night sometimes. Are you following God in the night right now? What I mean is, you can't really see what's 2 steps ahead. And you keep bumping into stuff that makes you want to cuss. And you can't even hardly find the bathroom at night. And you don't really know. You're just like Joseph. You're just like Mary. You're just like the Magi. You're even just like Herod. There was only one in the passage who knew where this was headed, and he couldn't even walk yet. Nobody else knew. So I tell my sons about, my daughter about, my church about nights like that. I want to just tell them about the God of 9:30 on Sunday morning. He's got too much makeup on. Then they won't realize God when he has to show up at 4 a.m. I want to pastor a church and to be a person who has 4 a.m. faith during the night. Because I want my kids to see me do great things from God and write great songs for God and preach great messages and make good decisions and love their mom and be a memory-making dad and give them all of these wonderful experiences. But I want them to know that I had some nights where I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know if the church would keep going, especially when it was a baby. I would walk out every week not knowing if anybody would be out there. I hate when God prompts me to tell you stuff that's embarrassing to me. I'd rather keep you in the dark. I would rather roll out on the stage. Hey, praise the Lord, everybody. God is your GPS, and he's going to reroute you. Am I right? But the Lord said to tell you, the things you doubt about, I doubt about. You hear me, son? I've had nights like that. I had nights where I wished I could throw up, but I couldn't because it wasn't physical what was making me sick. There's no sickness like night sickness. I never had morning sickness like Holly did, but let me tell you something. He's not just the God of 9:30 Sunday morning. He led Joseph to Egypt at night. So if you ever see me do anything great, boy, it's not because I always walked in the light. It's because I was kept in the dark. Everybody who God ever used, he didn't use them because they always had so much light, so much knowledge, so much goodness. You see all this other stuff. Everybody's posting on Instagram and they got all these lights that are so flattering and all these filters, but the God of 4 a.m., the God of 4 a.m., the God who got up from the grave in the physical body of a man named Jesus. In John 20, verse 1, it says, while it was still dark, Mary Magdalene went to the tomb. What? He didn't get up when the light came out. Easter didn't start with a sunrise. It started in the dark. So if you are in the dark today and you don't know and you can't feel, and my God, why have you forsaken me? And how does this end? And why does it hurt? And when does it stop? And when can I leave? I need you to know that he's watching you and keeping you and holding you and with you in the fourth watch of the night. Yes, there's a star that guides you. Yes, there's a light that guides you. Yes, there are blessings that attend you. Yes, there is favor that you can feel, and you will experience all of those things. But sometimes he's gonna tell you things in the night and lead you through things at the night. And what he does at the night, you will be shouting about in the day. Because this is why you gotta hold on. This is why you can't give up. This is why you gotta get help. This is why you gotta work through it. This is why you can't accept defeat. This is why Herod's searching for you, but he couldn't find you yet. He couldn't kill you yet. What he couldn't kill is Christ in you, the hope of glory.
Hey, thanks for stopping by my YouTube channel. I hope you were blessed today. If you were, share this with somebody. Like and subscribe and leave me a comment. Let me know where you're watching from, what we can pray for you about. Hope to see you back here again really soon.